少年ジャンプス。
Oh shit! What's up, everybody? Hi, long time no see. How you been? Welcome back. It's been a while.
Feels good.
Feels good. Welcome back to what? To Shonen Chumps, the only anime podcast on the gosh darn internet. That features the three of us. As always, I'm Brennan.
I'm Sean.
I'm Dylan.
And if you didn't know what we do here, I'm sure you do. But we watch anime. And then we hang out. And then we talk about it. And that is our podcast. Before we get into it, a few things of housekeeping. As a few of you may know, it's been quite some time since we've done one of these. It's been a hot minute. And we're good. Things have been fine.
We're alive.
We're here. It's just been a very, very crazy time for all three of us. There's been a lot of changes in our lives personally, and you know, it's been hard. Physically. We're all super jacked now.
Yeah.
So visualize that, if
We're like
you will.
Dotrio from Pokemon, just like, you know, when you see the underground version of them, and they're all just three buff guys.
We're three brown boys attached to one buff body.
We all share the same head.
Yes.
But yeah, things have changed.
Things have changed.
Some of us have gotten new jobs, different jobs, you know, work in different places.
Yeah.
Brothels, etc.
I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I haven't talked to the guys since. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're good. Going forward, we're probably going to be changing up a few things about the show. Nothing that you guys really have to worry about, besides the fact that we probably won't be posting on a bi-weekly schedule like we kind of used to. We stuck to a sort of decent schedule at one point.
Yeah.
So we're still going to be doing the show. It just might come a bit more intermittently. We might take our time, not 3 months worth, like this time. Sorry. But and we might not necessarily be focusing on seasonal shows. We're probably just going to be going forward watching whatever the fuck we feel like, or what we think we might enjoy, just to mitigate any feelings of being like burnt out by bad seasonal anime.
Shoutouts to Magus Bride.
Yeah. And every other shitty show we've covered.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of you have reached out to us over the past few months, asking if we're okay and alive, and it's very nice of you guys to do that.
Yeah, we love you.
We love you so much.
Very sweet.
Our lovely chumps. We're so sorry to have left you for so long, but here we are, back again. Specifically a few of you on Twitter. Braxton from Twitter, yo, what's up? Soul Mercy from Twitter. Kazuo from AAA Podcast. Our boy Eduardo.
I see you.
Our only iTunes reviewer, Bun Buns. All of you who have been following our podcast so far and enjoy the content we make, thank you so much for reaching out to us and for giving a shit. And we hope you're still here. It's been a while, so we won't fault you if you've moved on to bigger and better anime podcasts.
Whoa, let's be honest here. We're the best.
Yeah, we're number one.
Yeah.
We're
back from retirement.
Back from
better than ever.
Like Solid Snake, baby.
Still better than everyone else. Brennan, what are we watching today?
This week we watched the first half season of Attack on Titan Season 3. Baby. Woo! and we may or may not be talking about a couple of the other anime that we watched between in the last 3 months, but kind of forgot about, like My Hero Academia. But I guess we'll see how long it takes us to run out of steam before we get to that. Yeah, so guys, let's talk some Titans.
Okay, what do you guys think about Attack on Titan Season 3? Just generally, you know.
Not even in a sentence.
Yeah, not even in a sentence.
Yeah, I think we're too rusty to do the sentence.
Yeah.
What do I think of it? Actually, when I started watching it, I watched through it pretty quickly. So I would say that it was entertaining. It held my interest. And I can't wait to see where it goes. We're finally going to get to this fucking basement. You know? maybe we won't. I don't know.
God. How much longer can they drag this shit out?
Yeah. I'll say that the end of this season felt like the end of last season. It's all just like showing us the next wall we need to get to and being like, oh, you ready yet?
Where's the next wall?
Are you on your way? Are you going to come over here? Yeah, I don't know. It felt like a very like quick or long detour to get us to the same objective. Like, I was ready to go to the basement then. You just made me see all this other shit where there's Titan fighters that now have guns that shoot humans.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and now I'm back. Still haven't seen what I want to see.
Yeah.
But obviously I liked it. It's easy to watch. Yeah. The tease, dude.
The tease. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, I've been teased for too long, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I've waited too long, and the payoff... Well, I don't want to say the payoff isn't good enough, because I did enjoy this season enough to, like, binge it in 2 days.
Yeah. I truly believe that we can't even comment on the payoff. We haven't seen the payoff.
Yeah. There is no payoff. But I mean, like, at least there's a couple of those, like, rotoscoping crazy action scenes that feel really good. As per usual, I think they'd be remiss if they didn't have at least one of those in any given Attack on Titan season. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty satisfied with the answers that we did get for certain questions, but it just didn't really feel like enough.
Right.
Again, this is only like technically half the season, so
yeah,
I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing more. But as far as this season goes, it was fine. Yeah. But like, still, they're making me wait, and I'm not patient.
This was the season for answers, though, right? Like, they just started dishing out answers to random questions. I think, like, off the bat.
Yeah, like left and right.
You know what's something that's really unique about Attack on Titan, and it might be what I imagine Game of Thrones is like. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I know there's dragons and there's thrones.
Right.
It's less mystery.
But it's probably actually what I imagine the book series is like over the TV show to an extent, which is that Attack on Titan just builds up plot points and then just leaves them and then just moves on and builds up other parts. And because, for example, season 1, there was like, oh man, who's the female Titan? And we're like, it's Annie. And now we never see her again. And she's not dead, dude. She's being tortured in another part of the city. They mentioned that in season 2.
She's crystallized, right?
Yeah, but they were doing experiments on her. Maybe Armin was just saying that, but at one point, just piss off Berthold.
Right. He's like, I remember
they're
that.
torturing your friend
now. In season 2, right?
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
And again, in season 2, we find out about Berthold and Reiner, and they're like, oh shit, they were the Colossal Titan and the Armor Titan?
Oh,
and
man.
we like barely see them this season. So there's a lot of... And actually, sorry, even in season 2, Eren becomes like a side character for almost most of the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Attack on Titan does these really weird things where they just tell you a story and then they say, all right, but before we get to the next part, you need to hear about all of this stuff happening here.
Right.
Right? And I guess that's a little bit of what season 3 is too, because Eren's in the beginning, but then there's a huge chunk in the middle where he's not in it. Yeah. And then he's back at the end again.
Right.
And you're totally right, Sean. It felt like we were heading to the basement last season.
Like the feeling at the end of the last scene of the last season is the exact same feeling as the end of the last scene in this season.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because season 2 ends with the Beast Titan and the blonde guy who gets out of the Beast Titan. He's like, not yet, eh? Like, he's waiting for them to come. And then this season ends with Bertold and Reiner just, like, waiting for them to come.
Not yet, eh? Yeah, truly not yet.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for them to get to the fucking basement and, like, them to be like, oh my god, all the secrets are here. And then they open the doors and they go down there, and it's just, like, a chalkboard, and there's, like, a crude drawing of, like, Aaron's dad with his, like, fist up a Titan's ass or something. He's like, gotcha, we're fucked.
Right. And there's just boxes everywhere because he was a hoarder. Like, this place is disgusting.
Ew.
Yeah.
Just like,
I'm imagining like Aaron's dad like spread over top of the back of a bear, like that guy from Full Metal Alchemist. Shao Tucker.
Right.
And then like Aaron's mom is half a dog, and she shows up like, oh, Aaron.
God.
Aaron. Yeah. God.
Sorry for triggering all of you out there.
Yeah, sorry. It brings up bad memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think when we talked about season 2, Sean asked at the beginning if the payoff was worth it, or sorry, if waiting 3 years for the season or 4 years wasn't worth it. And I said no, because even though I liked season 2, there were no answers.
Right.
Or almost no answers. And
besides like character reveals.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the same thing, but we didn't have to wait as long, so I'm not as bugged by it. Overall, I like what Attack on Titan's story is, but I feel like the way they tell it is not great. And all the characters kind of suck, but like the world's very interesting.
Like, who was asking for Kenny the Man Killer or whatever his name was?
Like what? Like Kenny the Ripper? Like I completely, like I erased those OVA episodes from my brain about like Levi's upbringing in the slums or whatever.
Even though that was arguably some of the best shit.
It was
great.
season.
Well, it looked good, yeah.
But like I completely...
It was interesting too.
Yeah,
it looked good and it was interesting, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't even remember the story. I just remember him like swinging around being a criminal.
Until they showed the city again, I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing that exists in this world. And like I agree completely. It's like the world that they're building is like super interesting, and it seems like really dense with lore and stuff, but the way information is delivered, I feel like it like capitalizes too much on audience confusion, and like that's like like an almost dirty trick to get you more invested in the show without actually giving you any solid answers at the end. Because like you're watching the episode.
This show is written by J.J. Abrams and David Lindelof. Sorry,
it's a lost.
It's a lost. Yeah, it's a dig at Lost.
My favorite show, but go on.
Yeah, it's great. Go watch it, and The Leftovers. But the thing is, it's like even like with like. I might be jumping ahead here, but like the scenes in the cavern with Krista and her dad when we're kind of getting a lore dump, but it happens like weirdly backwards, where like in the later episodes we see like stuff that kind of fills in the blanks, but you've got like when the blanks are being filled, you've got to like retrace your steps to the previous episode and be like, oh wait, so why was this guy behaving in this way? Why was the tension in this scene existent at all? Like, what did anybody want to begin with? And then you've got to, like, piece it together yourself, which I thought was kind of annoying. Well, I mean, like, it's good in the way that it's not typical, necessarily. Like, it's not, like, your typical progression of, here's mystery, and then here is answer, ta-da! But, like, at the same time, I didn't appreciate the legwork that I had to do, and I feel like if I was more invested in the show... which I was when Attack on Titan was like fresh and new and I gave a shit, then maybe I would care to do any of that legwork. Maybe this is a personal issue. Maybe it's just me and my relationship to Attack on Titan that led to me enjoying their delivery of information less, but I don't know. I was kind of iffy about how they went about revealing some of these big lore secrets.
Yeah, actually... you saying all that also reminded me that even though this world is cool, they introduced a lot of stupid shit this season.
Yeah.
A lot of okay,
like the people with guns to fight humans.
No.
Shotguns,
I mean, like
just blowing people's heads off. It's like, where's the violence cap here? We need to up it this season.
I mean like lore. Like, some of the stuff was really stupid. Like, Historia's family just has the power to make people forget stuff.
Oh,
but a few royals are immune?
That's the fucking dumbest shit
That is, like, the stupidest shit. I think, like,
in
season 1, even just, like, learning about the Titans was interesting. But I'm not sure I even like the direction they're going with the Titans.
Right.
Even because they said something like, oh, the way you make an intelligent Titan is by eating an intelligent Titan. Well, where did that Titan come from? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a real chicken and egg situation.
Like Historia, if you eat Eren, you'll be an intelligent Titan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That was kind of dumb.
Yeah, so
it's like you don't get to be a person. Well, they showed this in season 2, but I guess it just never clicked. See, here's like, that's the thing. It's like the payoff comes way later and like you just don't care because it's like you see that episode where like Ymir is like wandering under like the beautiful night sky in the desert and all this bullshit as a Titan, and she's like suffering and yada yada. And then one day she gains sentience, and it's by eating one of Reiner's like friends, I guess.
Right, and that's because that friend was already a Titan, like a morphin Titan, which is so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree that the mind reading thing came out of left field as fuck and is really dumb.
Yeah. See, like that's actually like the dumbest thing.
Like it's not even a thing where like, oh, time passed and like people got used to the system in place.
Right.
And then that's how their society formed. It's like, nope, we have a psychic queen.
Yeah.
God, that's really stupid now that I think about it.
Yeah. and also like I guess just like in general, just like Rod's family carrying it down, and then like the serum it's in a syringe, and he's like, oh, I'll inject it to you, and then it turns out you don't even need to inject it, you just have to get a little on your tongue.
Yeah. Oh man.
Right. He's just like, she like throws it on the ground and smashes it, and he's just like, and then he just like licks a little bit of it. You got all the power he needed to.
Oh yeah, he became huge and disgusting. Did you guys watch the dub or the sub?
Of course I watched the dub, dude.
I watched the dub for most of it, but then I had to switch to the sub because I don't think it was out yet.
Okay.
Something like that.
Because like I don't know if they used
it earlier than me.
I don't know if they use the same sound effect in both, but when Rod sticks his tongue out to lick the serum off the ground, he goes, "Whoa!" And it's the funniest thing. It's just so hard to take seriously. It's like, all right, man.
Yeah.
Settle down, Yoshi.
I don't know how to replicate that sound.
Yeah.
But I tried.
And then there's a whole other thing about if you get injected with that stuff and then you become a sentient Titan, you become a different person. You just like you like surrender to the will of like the original king, and he like.
Dude,
it's like, what?
See, I was thinking about that huge jump in logic there when we were being explained about like, oh, like the first Titan, which is like this giant lady, like fucking brainwashed everyone, and then like, oh, blah blah blah. But I was like, wait, so if this power keeps getting passed down, and like Eren's kicking his own ass right now, being chained up, he's like, oh, I should have just, my dad fucked up, man. It's like you guys should have just done it. I was like, but like, wait, like, why didn't any of them at any point be like, hey, maybe humanity shouldn't be under the Titans' rule and like use their power to thing? And then like when Historia asks it, it's like very far into the explanation of the lore. It's like, shouldn't this have come up way earlier?
Mm-hmm.
And then the answer to that is just, I don't know. When you see what the first Titan saw, or like once you inherit the brain of the founding fathers of Titanhood, you'll just get it. It's like, what?
They're Kingdom Heartsing their plot. We're like,
I don't know what that means, but yeah.
It means like everything is a little too convoluted, and the payoffs are all way too few and far in between that they're not payoffs anymore.
Right.
It's just weird, dude. Stop introducing new rules that we don't need.
Yeah.
The other thing about that rule was I felt like it's also a jump because they haven't... Because how do I even phrase this? I just don't understand why they even went into the walls, because they, like, why are they in the walls? To protect themselves from the Titans, but they're actually, Titans people are actually running it.
Yeah, so...
And it's to preserve, like, what society is, like, the disparity between the rich and the poor.
It's like...
Because they alluded to that, too.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean, why are Titans in the walls?
No, why is, like, the old king who did this, like, why did he build the walls? And... Right. Because, like, they like the way society is. That's why they won't reveal the truth to people, because they like living inside the walls because they're rich.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's, like, if that's the motivation, it's very stupid.
I feel like the king inside the walls is just like a little bitch, and the actual people who matter are outside the walls. Like,
yeah,
ruling
like
that kingdom that Reiner
so
and
just
Bertolt.
something that we just haven't even seen. Yeah, that's a good point, because... I mean, a big thing was that in season 2, they wanted Eren to go with them to where they are from or whatever.
Yeah, their village or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, they probably have their own hierarchy of some kind, or maybe there isn't a hierarchy, and, like, that's why some, like, offshoot of this Titan society was like, you know what? With these humans that are still around, we're gonna fence them off into this area and let them have the old way of living or something like that, because they fundamentally believe, man, what this feels like is like it's going towards some kind of allegory of, like, think for yourself and don't follow society's rules. Like, that's what this whole thing is building up towards.
I'm getting the same feeling. Okay, I know this sucks for listeners who have read the manga, because you most likely know what's going to happen next, but considering that the show is so focused on, like, secrets and things that they reveal to us over time, like, we have to talk about what we think is going to happen next. Man, if they fumble what, like, the other kingdom is like, as much as, like, the Matrix fumbled what the real world looks like, where it's just some dirty ass rave happening in a
right, yeah. I fully forgot about that.
If we just get to, like, Bertolt's kingdom or whatever, and it's just a bunch of people sitting around a campfire that can turn into Titans, I'm gonna quit this show, dude.
Yeah,
I'm gonna quit that show.
I'm already halfway there, to be honest.
What if all the evil people are hanging out in that basement?
Like, that's like the portal to their world or some shit.
Yeah.
It's like, all the secrets are right there. It's the doorway. Like,
God.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
why is Mickey Mouse there?
It's Kingdom Hearts, dude.
We're Kingdom Heartsing this, dude. I don't know. Like, it's just, there was so much intrigue, at least for me, just based on, like I'm a sucker for good lore. Like, I'm down if it's cool, if it's actually layered and interesting and it goes somewhere and means something. I'm in. Mm-hmm. I'm down. Like, during season 2, I'm pretty sure I must have mentioned this in the last podcast, but I loved the ending sequence of season 2, not just because of the creepy music, but also because of, like, these, like, weird old tapestries that we were, like, seeing, and like wood carving sort of images of like Titans killing men, and like weird rituals happening and shit, and like a giant lady and like a bunch of slightly smaller large guys with swords like kneeling at her feet and shit. And I was like, wow, this looks so cool, especially like paired with the vibe of the music that they had going on. Mm-hmm. It just generated so much intrigue within me, which I feel like that's gotta be like a good chunk of what even made me hyped for season 3. I'm like, I want to know what's going on in the end credits of season 2. Maybe I'll get some answers that'll fill in some of these gaps here. And like, it looks so cool, but the way it's like rolling out just feels kind of dumb.
Right.
Well, another thing is season 2, I mean, sorry, this actually doesn't have to do with exactly what you're saying, but I do want to point out that season 2 was 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And season 1 was 25.
Yeah.
And season 3 is going to be 24. We're 12 in now. And I think that was probably a good choice. Like, season 2 feels like the 12 episodes of season 2 versus these first 12 episodes of season 3. Season 2 feels a lot more refined. Too,
right.
like a better story was going on, and it felt like they were building towards something concrete. Like, it's right what you're saying about the sequence.
Yeah,
it was hinting at something more, and it felt like maybe we would see something in season 3 that pertains to that, and we haven't seen anything. It's like they're stretching it out.
Yeah,
Like,
season 2 really felt like it was doing a good job at like expanding the lore
Right,
in the first season and bringing in like people that you thought you knew that are now like crazy and evil
because they weren't jumping the shark.
Yeah,
it wasn't like anything so far fetched that you'd be like, what?
Maybe this is why this third season is a 2-parter, because they knew that if they just called the next one the 4th season, you'd think that the 3rd season was shit.
Right.
And that it didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, it's funny now that we're talking about this, because when when you, like 20 minutes ago, when you said, oh, what did you guys think of the season? I said I was entertained. Yeah. And I was, so I'm just trying to figure out, like, what did I like about the season? What was I enjoying? Because I'm just listing a bunch of complaints now. And I'm just realizing this. Like, even, I mean, my big complaint in season 1 was that all the characters were super flat. And even in season 2, that kind of, they were like flat-ish, but there were some really good moments. Yeah. And season 3, we're back to just like flat characters again.
Yeah, like where's the payoff of Eren being able to control Titans?
Right, we didn't see any of that at all.
No, yeah.
Like
it totally like sucks the wind out of the final moment of the season, or season 2, where he like punches the Titan and tells it what to do or whatever the hell.
Right, and he gets revenge on the one that killed Hannes and his mom.
Yeah. What? Also, like, one thing I think I liked it this season. I'm not sure if I liked it or just found it interesting. I'm not sure about this whole season, actually, now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, this season,
is that I liked how almost all the combat was human versus human until the very end when they fight that giant Titan, right? It's called Attack on Titan, really. That's just humans shooting each other in the face.
There's no mini Titans this time.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, it's a nice break.
Cool. Yeah, that was cool. It was interesting. So if we can talk about things that we liked, it was interesting that there was a conspiracy within the walls. Like that was initially cool. Like someone that killed that priest, and Levi's squad was being blamed for it, and then so they were on the run. Seeing humans fight humans was pretty cool.
Yeah,
Kenny's squad, using those like guns to just shoot people.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
With like the modified ODM gear, because now it shoots out of their like
guns.
Their guns. Yeah, and it's like Spider-Man, very Spider-Man-y, even more so than before.
Yeah, also when Levi was fighting Kenny's squad, he shot one of his grappling hooks into the face of one of Kenny's men, which was amazing.
That's dope.
So cool.
Armin killed a guy.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy because he was about to. The dude or the woman was about to kill Jean because Jean hesitated, and then
fully
Armin
shot her in the back of the head, dude. And like hardcore. What the fuck?
So that was like a really good moment, and even later in that episode, Armin talks about war, and it was like quite poignant, just like what he was saying about the experiences of war.
Seeing Armin like kind of grow at least a little bit as a character was pretty interesting. I think like him having to kill a person and then Levi talking him through that, being like, well, look, if you didn't pull the trigger, John wouldn't be here. So like I can't tell you what you did was right or wrong, but you did what you did, and now everyone you care about is safe.
That was probably the best moment of the season. Of this half. Yeah.
I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
That was pretty good. Because that was like just very real. That just goes like to all things to do with war. It's like, does anyone really want to pull the trigger? I don't think so. But
definitely a fundamental of any war story. They need to go over this.
Yeah.
If you didn't do A, B would not be here.
Exactly.
I was waiting this entire season for Armin to have his moment where they're like, oh my god, thank you for keeping Armin around. He's so smart, smarter than the rest of us.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
They have one moment like that, I think. I could be remembering this wrong, but when all of Levi's squad like break into that crystal cave to go save Eren.
Right.
It's like Armin's idea, I think, to like push barrels of like I don't know, like kerosene or something, and then they explode them. Yeah,
that to make a smoke screen.
And then they're like, "Oh, Armin, you're a genius."
Also, I want to point out in that scene when that fight starts, rap rock music is playing.
Oh, hell
so sick, dude!
Bust out the Japanese Limp Bizkit.
Oh my god, dude! I was like amped.
That was fucking sick. That was so funny.
Yeah,
man.
And that actually that whole fight sequence was sick because that was like human versus human in that like just a really small cave and they're just flying
it's just
around.
Close quarters.
That was super cool.
And then slowly all of Kenny's men realize that like they don't need to fight back. First of all, I think they might have all died.
Oh yeah,
And
they
second of
got
all,
crushed.
yeah,
they did.
yeah. Oh yeah,
they get crushed. The
It's
rest of
Kenny that realizes that he doesn't need to fight anymore because he can't get what he wants, which I
Right.
guess is the serum.
He
to
wanted
turn
to
into
be a Titan or like steal the power
Yeah,
from.
it was he was playing to steal it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, just because he wants to like not die, or like what's
He wanted to experience the power that Rod's brother had when he like spared Kenny's life, because he's like, what's it like to have so much power that you can just be like, I'm just not gonna kill you or some shit.
Yeah,
like that.
actually, that flashback episode with Rod was, with Kenny was interesting.
It felt like, I feel
Kenny's
like that,
pretty unnecessary character,
yeah.
but
I
like
feel
that
like that-
episode was interesting.
right. I feel like that episode didn't necessarily make up for Kenny being an unnecessary character, but like it gave me a bit more context. It's like, okay, at least he exists in this world for a reason, despite being like, I don't know, some bullshit link about Ackerman blood or something.
Oh
like,
my
That was
god!
so stupid. It's just like one line, like, "Hey, his last name's Ackerman, so he's probably related to you, Mikasa."
yeah.
And then later
like-
we find out that Levi's also an Ackerman.
Yeah,
So is,
and it's
is
like-
that what all this is for? Is that so next season he can
Okay.
be like, "I'm your uncle, Mikasa"?
I
or
think
something
they're
like that?
cousins.
Slowly find out that everybody in the show is actually Japanese.
right, yeah. See, the thing is, it's like, oh yeah, and it's like, so the Ackermans were ousted and the Asian people were ousted because they could all withstand the brainwashing or some shit like that. And like, that's why Mikasa exists at all. It's
It's
like,
like
what?
favoritism for me.
See, it's like, there were certain things that I liked when they're like making certain characters not special. Like, I feel like they went out of their way to be like, Aaron's not special. In fact, they
Yeah.
beat you over the head with it. They beat Aaron over the head with it. He's like, I'm not special. I'm just a normal person.
Hey, to
Meh,
anybody
meh,
who
meh."
thought that Aaron was special, he's not going to be in half the episodes.
Yeah.
Do you like it now? Are you happy?
But he will be coming back for season 4 with all the powers, by the way. So
Yeah.
but then they go out of their way to make Mikasa and Levi and Kenny canonically special by being like, hey, wait, they're all part of this crazy magic bloodline, which makes them all super good at what they do. Hey, did you ever wonder why they're all so sick? It's not just because they're the main characters. It's because of their blood. And I'm like, that's a dumb cop-out.
Yeah, they're midichlorianing it.
Yeah,
I didn't
That's
get that
exactly
sentence.
They're
what I was
fully
gonna say.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Walk me
for
through the
anyone who doesn't
syllables
know
on
what
this.
they're talking about.
Midichlorian-ing it.
Yes.
There, yeah. So, I
You
I
did
just-
it, dude.
You got it.
No training wheels.
Yeah, okay. Because the midichlorians in Star Wars are just like, the Force is really cool in the original Star Wars trilogy, of course. Like, hey, you're cool. You have this like weird religion that's also a science, and you use it to like
It's
manipulate things
everywhere.
around you.
It's everything.
It's everywhere and everything.
Yeah.
And then the prequels come around, and it's like, hey, actually, it's like a blood count number. It's like a number of white blood cells.
We can measure
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
in
So
the
stupid.
amount of midichlorians.
What a
in
shame.
Yeah, Attack on Titan's like, hey, are you full Asian or not?
For those of you who couldn't see, Sean was looking at an invisible report card as he said that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's really stupid and kind of funny, but mostly stupid.
Yeah, just a little silly.
But yeah, it was kind of dumb that they needed to group. Like, also the thing is, it's like when they're like, oh, his name's Kenny Ackerman. I'm like, wait, isn't that Levi's last name?
I don't think
And
they
I was
reveal
like-
that that's Levi's last name.
Well, they did at the end, right? Or like, or
Well,
that
yeah,
he's-
later in the season, I mean. But I'm saying when they said Kenny Ackerman.
As soon as they said that, my immediate thought was, wait, isn't Levi an Ackerman? And then I was like, wait, isn't Mikasa an Ackerman? Who's an Ackerman? I don't know.
Wait, I'm saying I could have sworn they never revealed Levi's last name
They
until
did.
the end of the
They
season.
did not. But for some reason in my head,
Oh, okay.
The black hair.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, what? Aren't they already related? It's like
Right.
it was like such a no shit moment that it wasn't that much of a reveal.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he's-
when they did reveal that he was his uncle.
Yeah, he's like
yeah, I
staring him
know.
in the face. It's like as soon as the guy walks into the brothel and like sees this literal dead prostitute, and he's like, "Yo, what's up, sis?" Or like he doesn't say sis outright, but the way he's addressing her, I'm like, "Oh, it's a sister. Oh, he's his uncle. Oh, I guess Levi's an Ackerman."
Dude, yeah, Levi, when he's like a dying, skinny child, is a very gross to look at.
Right, yeah.
My 2 cents.
But you know what wasn't gross to look at? The rest of this show.
Dylan and I just looked right at each other and said that. Like, what's he getting at? Yeah. The cool, like, action sequences and shit.
Yeah, I thought the action sequences were great. I also like that I know we're going to disagree here, Sean. But I like that they dropped the thick line style.
Oh, yeah.
I like that it just looks
I
like
also disagree with you, Brent.
I mean, I don't know. I never got down with the thick lines. It always felt really weird and chunky and gross to me, but now it just looks like a normal anime.
But but that's like, it's assimilating, Brennan. It's becoming one with all the other shit.
Maybe that's what I want.
Yeah.
Have you seen the end of Evangelion?
Bring me the dancing anime girls next.
It all returns to nothing. Anyways.
Yeah, the animation style change was a little jarring at first, but I immediately got over it.
Yeah.
And I almost instantly forgot. Like 15 minutes into the first episode, I was like, I don't even remember what it looks like now.
See, that's the thing. It doesn't draw that much attention to it, but overall the show just looks better. Like, when you compare it to season 1, when the color palette is literally just brown and red, it's just brown root.
Dude, that's my color palette. My body's color palette.
Man, what are you doing?
Not red.
Yeah.
I don't agree that the show looks better, but that's an interesting take.
There's
I don't
better
think I
color
do either,
compositions
but
in this season. It's like easier to look at, and there's more variety, I found. And like even when they go outside the walls and stuff, they have like the blue cavern, and then when shit goes like real crazy, it starts like you get like yellow light in the cavern, and it's just changing a lot, you know? It's not samey
Sure.
bullshit like season 1. But, you know.
I like my lines how I like my women, Brennan. Thick. Thank you, everyone at home, for completing that for me.
So we just talked about Levi as a child being very skinny, and that was gross to look at. And then Sean's words, not mine. And then Brennan said, "Oh, you know what's nice to look at?" And then just the animation in general. But I want to flip it back to what's gross to look at for a moment, because one of the funniest moments in this show. In this season. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say in this show. This is the best moment. This is the funniest moment.
Whoa.
So, as we know, there's a coup midway through the season, and all of the old nobles are thrown out, and the coup's carried out by Erwin, Pixis, and Zachary. I think those are like the 3 guys who lead it.
Yeah.
And there's a moment, I guess, when the coup has happened and they're in the inner city where, like, Levi, they're all still out of the city. They haven't met up. And I guess we're getting a bit of the story from, like, Levi, what's going on, and then it goes back and shows what's happening in the city with the coup. And there's this great little scene where Zachary is hanging one of the nobles upside down and feeding him through his ass.
Yeah. And he's just making jokes.
I'm sorry, what?
Dude, you don't remember. And he's got like panties on his face or some shit. He's like upside down. Oh, no. He's got like weird little socks on.
You can't see. Okay, I have a screenshot if you
like
want to look.
Frilly socks.
So I think he's literally... I think he's either putting shit into his ass or he's feeding from the ass into his mouth.
He's got a funnel attached to his asshole or something. Oh,
but there's also like a tube, but this is the closest you get. You don't actually get to see what's happening.
Right.
But it looks like he's either being fed from his asshole into his mouth.
Oh my god. I can't believe I forgot about
the best thing is what Zachary says as he's torturing this guy. He says, "Art must be completed by its audience. You must be seen by the people, the same ones you tyrannized, and that will be my masterpiece."
Oh my god.
Holy shit, dude. Oh my god, I can't believe that this was in the show. It was definitely my favorite part.
Do you think the entire series is going to end with that quote? And they're not going to give us like the ending? They're just going to be like, you guys finish it.
You figure it out.
They've been feeding me through my asshole this entire time.
And I'm pretty sure, like, it cuts away to Ervin, and they're saying, like, yo, Zachary's, like, a little crazy.
He's like,
I don't know what he's doing.
Why don't I remember this? I feel like this is the difference.
It was very fast.
I couldn't believe that that's what I was saying. Yeah, it was a very quick scene.
I was like, wait, yeah, because there is a funnel attached to the guy's mouth, because you see his mouth later. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like,
so he's, like, human centipeding him, but as one person.
Right, yeah.
It's just it's a Mobius loop.
And he's being hung upside down, which is very funny also.
Yeah, of all the torture scenes, this has been pretty good.
This shows the difference between me watching anime with my friends versus me watching it alone. Alone, I'm just straight-faced, like, forgetting all the weird random shit I've seen. If I was with friends, we would have laughed about this and never forgotten it.
Right. You just, like, fully block it out. You're like, I want to keep liking
this
anime.
Is anime. Yeah.
So I'm going to
in order for me
this.
to like anime, I must forget what I'm seeing right now.
Oh, God. Anyway,
man.
yeah, so that was
pretty great.
A highlight moment for me. That and Aaron and Armin talking about war. Two best moments.
That is the highlight.
Two opposite moments.
Right.
That is the highlight of the entire coup. Like, fuck political intrigue, fuck Game of Thrones style power shifting. All we needed was a man being hung upside down and dressed in frilly socks being fed through his asshole.
Yeah, and for those of you who aren't listening on YouTube, we did put up the still there, so just like if you're curious, just check it out on YouTube too if you don't remember. Or just watch the episode again if you're okay with watching that scene again.
Because it was there.
Yeah, it was there. Ooh, baby, it was there. That's episode 6, by the way.
This guy's got it categorized, logged, and
Dude,
noted.
Never forget.
Oh, God.
That is great. Yeah, I can't think of much else I need to say about this show.
Okay, so like where's it going? So the season ends with them going to try to take back
Maria, right?
Maria.
It's Maria.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
And Reiner and Berthold.
It's a me.
Berthold are waiting on the wall. But in episode 10, we get that moment where we see that Reiner and the Beast Titan just had a fight and Reiner lost.
Oh, yeah.
And it was their way of settling the argument about whether they would go rescue Annie or whether they would go after the coordinate, which we assume is Eren. Mm-hmm. And so because Reiner lost, they're going after Eren. They're not going to save Annie. So Annie, you're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
You're not in the next season.
We still don't...
Or the next half. Maybe.
She's the one who's being tortured underground somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I love how they form a coup and they don't like rethink how they're torturing Annie.
Yeah, it's like, oh no,
they're fine with it. Right?
Yeah, I know. But like,
Irvin is
that's the one part of this whole arrangement that stays the same.
They don't rethink it. They don't visit her. They don't see what her accommodations are like. They're just fuck it. Yeah, whatever.
I think
it's like you're crooked, but we're still going to torture Annie. Yeah. That was the only thing the old government got right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's still trapped in a rock, but
yeah.
Like, what was even the point of that scene? It's like, is it just to give us a general direction of like what the Titan side of what's going on the Titan side of things? Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
Or like Reiner still cares about his friends or some shit. It's like, who fucking? That was season 1, bro. That was a while. Yeah, that was a while. Like, I don't give a shit.
But that's what I'm saying. It goes back to that whole thing, the way they just like build up plots and then they move on to something else.
Yeah.
So I guess they just had to remind us about that. Actually, that reminds me of something else. In episode 8, they talk about Eren's basement. Like, oh, how we got to go check that out. And Sasha actually says, oh, right, the basement, is that important now? Like, she's literally speaking for the audience.
Yeah. That was very funny.
Great.
But like,
so that's what we're doing again. Okay.
The entire show's taken place over like a couple months, right?
Which is insane, dude. Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
In that episode where they're all fighting over meat and shit, it's just like the turn down episode. It might have been the last episode. I think it was. But they're like, oh, it's been like a long time since like we started this journey, right? So it's been like 4 months.
They
like,
say something like that, a specific amount of months,
but it's like
or maybe
such a small number, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I guess it makes sense, but like for us who've been
so this is escalated real quick for Armin because he just killed a guy.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like pretty badass when like you see the new scout recruits or whatever, or like people who switched over from like the garrison, or like I don't think the MP. I think all the MPs got arrested or some shit like that because they were in on the corruption.
Oh, yeah. There was a whole thing. They were like staging something to arrest them, and all the citizens were like hiding in a building and shit. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
So
inconsequential shit.
Yeah. But like, yeah, there's a moment where the new recruits are like, oh yeah, like you guys, matter of fact, like you guys all look kind of fucked. And then like it kind of pulls out and it shows like the entirety of their squad, like Squad Levi, just looking super intense and badass. Even like Connie looks like a grizzled veteran, and like everybody's got like dark shadows under their eyes, and it's like, damn, man, like this is kind of, maybe they are cool. Maybe I'm an idiot.
Remind me if I'm wrong, but didn't we see a shot of like Connie's mom still alive?
She's like a
isn't she like that Titan that's like clogged
On the
on the
roof.
house?
Yeah.
They just,
I
like,
don't know if
kept her
she's alive
They keep her
still, or
alive?
if she's just like lying there,
I think
like still like.
they mentioned offhand that they're like,
no one would help me.
I think they mentioned like
so much pain.
that they're
Goddamn.
still working on like figuring out how to bring.
Yeah, we're working on it, Miss Tiny.
Hang in there. And she's like, oh, yeah, dying.
She's beside Annie, who's being constantly tortured.
Oh my god.
Good
She's
God.
just trapped on their house still. Just left her there because her limbs are too tiny to move, and they're like, you're not gonna starve.
Oh God. I think we should talk about the final scene in the final episode of this season, or this half of the season.
In the credits.
In the credits, dude. Credits glitch out. We just watched it again before we started recording this podcast.
Right.
Who wants to say what happens?
So prior to that, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go take Walmaria, and then the credits roll, and we're like, oh, sick, and then it glitches out,
Fast
and it
forward
seems
to-
that we've jumped a little bit into the future.
Yeah, so they've ridden to
Right.
that city that they're trying to retake.
Yeah.
Shit's gone down. The battle is
Is it
conceivably over.
Shiganshina district? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And it's Levi telling Mikasa and Aaron that they fucked up. He's like, "Do you even know what you're doing?"
And he's covered in blood.
Aaron has the lines on his eyes as if he just got out of like Titan
Yes.
form or
Right,
something.
yeah.
And then Levi like beats the shit out of both of them or something, or at least.
Oh
Aaron.
no, Mikasa. Or yeah, he punches Aaron,
like
and then
knocks him like
Mikasa-
off the roof or something.
and then Mikasa tries to slit his throat.
Right,
It's like,
right.
ooh-wee. Sibling rivalry.
And so, interesting technique. Like, I don't think we've seen just like flash forwards like that before. It's really becoming lost.
Maybe it's because they got to the last episode and they're like, "Shit, nobody's gonna give a shit
Dude,
about anything."
yes, that's
Let's throw
that's
in a
fully
tease.
it. I bet you they're like, oh my god, like anyone still watching this is gonna be so fucking pissed. We gotta give them something.
Yeah.
And then they show us some bullshit. Obviously, Mikasa's not gonna fucking slit Levi's throat.
Yeah. So
Or that's when Levi says like, "I'm your brother." Or some
Right.
shit. We're both Ackermans.
Yeah. Unless that's already public knowledge.
That's
I don't
probably. I don't even. Care,
I don't even
dude.
fucking know. Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting. It's like, it's good to know that things go to shit. I feel like the fact that they're introducing fodder, like the new recruits and yada yada.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, so these are people to die when everything goes wrong. Gotcha.
right.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because,
like
like,
Marco in the first season.
Yeah, because the opposite of that is like what Game of Thrones did in the most recent season. Without spoilers, there's like everybody enters a big battle, and it's like all the cool, important characters that you think you care about, and then suddenly they're in this like the heat of the battle, and people start dying. You're like, oh my god, there's only like 8 people I cared about, and they're all in the scene, and they're all dying. And then you see the end of the battle, and everybody you liked survived, and they're like, oh yeah, the people who died were just like guys we brought along.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? This is like the most epic battle you've ever had, and suddenly there's guys that I've never seen before dying on screen.
Yeah. There's no casualties. They're all Jon Snow body
Thanks,
doubles.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it sucks. Wow.
I think it's one of the complaints is why people think like the last season wasn't too great.
Yeah.
Even though I think it was still great.
It was pretty good,
Just-
but like
yeah.
it's probably gonna go to shit before it's done.
Yeah.
See, only 6 episodes.
So
Yep.
I don't know how far in how far in the manga is in terms of
Right.
Attack on Titan. Like, how far ahead is it?
I don't
far
know
enough?
far enough, but the thing is,
Yeah.
it's apparently going to be coming to an end soon. Like, I'm pretty sure the mangaka announced that he will be finishing the series soon.
Okay.
I just read a headline or like something offhand. I don't have too many details about that, but any fans of the series are probably well aware of this.
Like, do you know how many volumes it is? Because I'm just wondering, like, how many more seasons of Attack on Titan can we expect? Like,
Right.
2?
Right.
Like, 3?
No, maybe more. I don't know. It always feels like there's an infinite amount of manga ahead of the anime.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is that I think I mentioned it in the season 2 podcast we did, was that someone I just had like a chance encounter with, it spoiled a part of Attack on Titan for me because she had read the manga. And so I watched this whole season waiting for a reveal that never happened. So I'm still walking on eggshells. Like I still,
Right.
You're still aware
I
of
still
something.
know something that I haven't seen yet, which is very annoying.
And speaking of which, like 5 minutes before we started recording this podcast, I was looking through Wikipedia and I accidentally read a sentence of information that we don't know yet.
Jeez.
So that's fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it like hella crucial?
I can tell you that it's like the Titans were created by,
Oh, god damn it.
and now I'm not going to say whether or not a name follows that, or like an incident, or like a serum, or this or that. It's whatever. Non-spoiler, guys. I love you.
Okay.
But I was spoiled.
God damn. God damn.
Yeah, I would rather have not known that, but cool. Actually, no, that's fine.
What I said?
Yeah, I guess they had to be created by something. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Or wait, no. But I said it wasn't a
Yeah,
name,
no,
or
I
a
know,
serum,
I know.
or a place, or
Yeah.
an event.
Okay, so I guess that's it. All we have to say, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything
So,
else that comes to mind.
yeah.
I did enjoy this.
Yeah, like I
don't
did.
Get me wrong.
I'll keep
Yeah.
watching it. That's the thing about Attack
Like-
on Titan. Like, even though I have tons of gripes with it every time, I'll still keep watching.
But I don't think I'm ever gonna go back and watch another season to like refresh myself. Like I don't have that many hours in my life.
dude, I don't do that for stuff I love. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't do that for this.
Fun
Right.
fact: for many years, I did go back and watch every season of Game of Thrones up to the current season that was airing every time a season
That's
aired.
insanity.
Yeah,
I knew
'cause-
that about you.
Because I'm a
And,
ridiculous
disgusting.
mentalist like
Yeah.
that. But you know,
So now that we're done, do we want to just talk quickly about our thoughts about My Hero Academia?
yeah, fuck it. Just,
Sure.
like,
Okay,
off
put the
cuff.
theme music in again.
A first ever Chumps exclusive double podcast of sorts.
Somebody say something about this season because I don't remember what happens. Is it when they try to save Bakugo? All the kids go and try to save Bakugo?
Was that this season?
Pull up the Wikipedia.
Yes.
That's
Dylan,
hilarious.
Yes, that
none
was.
of us-
Put it on
Okay.
screen. Put it on.
So what I will say about this season is that it was a lot of fun.
It was.
I liked it a lot. I would probably say it exceeded my expectations in some ways. So, off of memory, I believe that this season was broken up into 2 stories, like the first and second. And the first half was that tournament, I think. Right? That tournament to get your like provisional license.
Okay,
And
right.
there were some really, really cool moments. There was like an episode where it started and I was like amped.
Which one was that?
It was like when they were about to start fighting, like the students had to form teams and like you had to get like a ball from each of them or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was season 3?
I hope so, dude. Otherwise, all of what I've been saying.
Yo, I am completely blanking on this.
Right.
And then the second half of season 3 was where they just had their provisional licenses and they were doing stuff. I don't know.
Oh man.
It's hilarious how none of us remember anything.
Well, we watched it while it was happening, so like, let that be like that was a while ago.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Was there a fight with all for one fighting one for all? No,
Yeah,
that was season 2.
Season 2. That was at the end. Remember? And
Okay,
then
good.
All Might lost his powers, and then
Right.
So that's where they had to save
Oh,
Bakugo.
right. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. And then, speaking of, I think the thing that stood out the most for me this entire season, that, or at least that I can remember of this haze of My Hero Academia, was that we finally got Bakugo's redemption, dude.
What does he do?
He fights Izuku, and he finally lets all of his feelings out.
Oh, they fight like one-on-one away from the teachers, away from the school, right?
Yeah, and they like completely let loose, and everything that Bakugo's been sort of like building up and holding in, bottling up for like the entirety of him wondering why All Might chose Izuku, it all comes out, and like you realize like, oh, like Kachan's like not like a piece of shit. He's just like a kid, and like he can't deal with the pressure of like, you know, having like his own standards and having to like meet them and wondering why like he's a failure in his own eyes and shit like that. That was cool. I felt bad for Bakugo.
It's funny because if you go back to our season 1 podcast, I talk about how much I hate Bakugo, and Brennan's saying like there's a redemption point coming, and I said it won't matter. I'll still hate him, and I can confirm that I still hate Bakugo. So, yeah, that redemption thing did nothing for me.
Oh yeah, because there's like a part of the season where he gets like grounded and has to stay at the house and
he has to clean
up.
Right? They get like dorms.
Yeah,
because
they get dorms.
My dormitory. Academia.
Yeah. And they all like check out each other's rooms and see how lame each other
is.
That's
the beginning of the season, is they have like a room competition.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
wait
all
a
coming
minute.
back.
No, didn't we do an episode on the first half of My Hero Academia season 3?
Oh my god, yeah.
Did we?
That rings a bell.
That's why.
Did we? Oh.
I think so.
I think we did, yeah.
Google Shonen Chumps really fast.
I'm just trying to think about...
Can you guys tell that it's been a minute?
Would this be the first episode where we listen to our own podcast on the podcast?
Yeah, we did do on the first 12 episodes.
Oh, no.
That's hilarious.
Oh, God.
Sorry, guys. It's been a while. This is a
really
train wreck.
That one.
Yeah. Well, hope it's been at least a little entertaining to watch us trip over our own feet.
This is amazing.
This is great.
Okay, so that's so stupid.
When you go so long without podcasting that you forgot that you had a fucking podcast to begin with.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay. So,
oh no.
So the first half of the season is that where they did the that like camp, that like training camp in the forest,
right? And the cats die, or like one of them gets fucked up or something, right?
So yeah, because like when you said the rooms was the first episode of the season, I was like, yeah, it was. And then I looked at my notes of the episode, and then I have that as episode 13, and I was like, that's not right, but it was right.
That's where we picked up. So yeah, fuck.
That's intense.
God damn it.
Okay. So the second half of season 3, it does have where they're trying to get their provisional licenses, right?
I guess so. That would only make sense, so that they can be like real heroes out in the field, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So that's okay. I actually found the note. I literally wrote in episode 15. I was amped at the end of this episode. It's because UA's at a huge disadvantage because everyone knows what UA's powers are because they have their like competition on TV, and everyone like goes after them a bit. So I did like this season because they split up a bunch of the main characters and we got time with them, so we got to know some of the characters a little bit more. That was cool. One of my favorite moments is from episode 18. I barely took any notes, but I did make a note of this. Naval Laser Guy, I Cannot Stop Twinkling. He's really struggling with like trying to actually be a hero and do good things. He's like cowering and hiding a lot, even in the beginning of season 3.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there's a flashback to when he's a kid, and he's like, "Papa, Mama, why am I so different from everybody else?" God damn, dude, so funny.
Does he look into the camera as he says that?
So he says that, and I think it's like when they're fighting that hero who's like pretending to be a villain for the purposes of like the provisional hero's license. It's you have to beat me to prove that you're a hero. And so then that moment, I think in that episode is when he's begins to have more confidence and he's like, yeah, I can like do it. So then later he says like, I guess that means I won't have to stop twinkling. And then another character says, no, keep twinkling, whatever that means. Oh, God. In episode 19, earlier in the season, there's that girl who is like naked in front of Deku because she can shapeshift. And then I think some of the other, like the pervy guys, they find out about it. And Electric Guy asks Deku, just how plus ultra did you go with her? Which is great.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I remember that.
Episode 20 is it's a side story that is the lead up to the movie that came out. Yeah, it's about
like the American friend of All Might.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but that's interesting.
Me neither.
And yeah, that's all I have to say about this season.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun. Actually, season 3 ended with those, like, the big 3 of UA, like the third years.
Oh yeah,
like,
they're
telling
like
class,
the guy with
the no eyes,
the super stripped down face. It's just 2 dots.
Yeah,
he looks like Tintin.
He looks like Tintin, totally.
I don't remember this guy, but I remember Tintin, so that's cool.
That's what I was thinking. My nickname for him while watching was Tintin. I was like, But he's like super... Oh yeah, he kicks the entire class's ass.
Yeah, like very easily.
He just like zips and dips out of like the ground and like phases out of reality and just beats the shit out of everyone.
That was pretty cool, actually.
And then they've got Sasuke, who's like also one of the big 3, but he's like a coward. And then this like really excited girl who's like super stoked to talk to everybody.
Right.
She doesn't know when to shut up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
And I think that's how season 3 ends. And then there's like, I think they show the League of Villains. And there's like a new person who wants to join them or something. And that's pretty much it.
I can't wait for the recap at the beginning of the next season. I remember what happens.
Yeah, so those are our thoughts on Attack on Titan and our thoughts on My Hero Academia. Thanks for sticking with us to the end to hear our quick summary of My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
we love you.
We also watched Otaku or Love is Hard for Otaku.
Oh,
we don't remember
that was
shit.
so long ago. I liked it. There were definitely some funny parts. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I remember liking it a lot. Just watching these weird nerds date, but there was a lot of weird scenarios where I'm like, you guys don't even like each other. Like, you're just
like, why
using
are you doing
each other.
this?
Yeah, is
not
that
even for sex. Like, what are you here for?
Is that what dating is for young people in Japan today?
It's just hanging out.
Because they're just like, he's like, why don't you date me? I can help you beat games. And she's like, you know, that's a good point.
Actually,
what? Like, that has never worked for me.
They all seem like characters from Seinfeld, where they're just manipulating other humans for their own gain.
Which is kind of cool.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, in the story,
Yeah.
I just remember that there were like 500 different Ava references, and I was like, yes, I agree with this completely.
If there was, I don't think I picked up on a one.
on any of them.
I'd like to say that, like, I think I'm looking forward to watching a bit of Banana Fish.
Yeah.
And whoever's in the comments should let us know what they're looking forward to watch soon.
Is it shit? Because if it's shit, we might not do it.
Is Banana Fish good or bad? I might just watch it on my own just because I love the name reference to J.D. Salinger and The Catcher in the Rye, which I love.
Banana Fish.
So I want to watch that and see if it's good. Also, next month, and Dylan, I'm saying this right to you because I feel like you might not want to do this, but I'm going to make you. We gotta watch the Dragon Ball Super Brawly movie.
Oh, yeah.
That comes out, the one that's supposed to be very well animated in theaters.
I'll watch the movie as long as I don't have to watch anything leading up to it.
You don't, bro.
It's just Brawly, dude.
Oh, dude, then
you don't even need to know Brawly. It's like a reintroduction, like a reboot of Brawly or something like that.
Okay. That's going to be great.
That should be dope.
I like Mob sharing news with me on...
Yeah. Mob Psycho 100. Season 2 is starting in January 7th or some shit.
The greatest anime of all time.
I personally will have to wait until the English starts. I don't know.
Oh my fuck.
Because the English is so fucking good.
It is good.
I will too, actually. Yeah. I'll want to wait too.
I am going to watch the sub because I love the sub.
Right. Mabu.
Also, there's a new Trigger anime that's currently airing.
Right.
SSSS Gridman.
Right.
I don't know if it's good or bad or not because I've been keeping myself in the dark to make that judgment myself. So
I always make judgment in the dark. Make of that what you will.
Judging in the dark.
What's that?
Dancing
in the dark.
Right.
Shoutouts to the boss.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah, no, I know. I'm thinking of some other song from like 2010. Dancing in the dark. Bum 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 bum.
I mean, I believe you.
I'm gonna execute myself.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, well, thanks for listening. If you want to get Plus Ultra with us, you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud,
Apple iTunes podcasts.
Google Play
Oh yeah, true.
podcasts, on Twitter. Brendan runs the Twitter feed, and he does a great job.
Yeah, at Shonen Chumps. You can email us at shonenchumps@gmail.com.
Yes, do that. Contact us. Leave us an iTunes review, maybe? I don't know.
These guys are good, but they never podcast. They also forgot an episode they made once. 3 stars.
Never
3
mind.
stars,
They're so good.
Don't do that. Just kidding. Do what you want.
Yeah.
I'm not a cop.
But we love you, and we love the fans who have like stuck by us and asked us if we were dead or alive.
Yes, all 7 of you that are still there, we love you so much. Please
Shout out
tell
to
your
the Chump
friends.
7.
Yeah. We've got like 150 subscribers on YouTube now. Hell fucking
That's dope.
yeah, dude.
And even if you aren't part of the 7, come be part of the 7, dude.
Yeah.
It's an elite group.
Now
You're part of it.
we're always the 7.
Yeah, the Elite 7. Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
All right, thanks. Love you.
It's been fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Hasta luego.